Come on in, Myron. I'm adding you on. What's up?
Can,
Hey.
can you see me?
Hello?
Hello?
You gotta fix your camera.
Huh? What?
You remind me of my dad when he go trying to figure it out. Which way I turn the phone? This way. This way.
It's making me turn it. I didn't want to turn it, but that's okay. It's okay. How you?
I'm gonna tag our lovely host in the comments.
All right.
Yeah.
And
What's up?
here we
What's
go.
up?
All right, so I'm here. What's up?
Nothing, just waiting on her.
Okay. I hear you. Do you want to start?
Just waiting on her now. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello, we're starting to get some people.
Okay.
What's up, people?
Hello, everybody. My name is Samuel R. Markinson. Hey.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. She's talking about I don't see the link. I don't see the link. I'm like, I just tagged you in the comments. Oh, Lord. Oh, here we go. It says page unavailable. What?
Yeah, that's what it told me.
Hello, Joanne. We're on here. Yes.
Not just Annie.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you
Okay.
see her?
It says, yeah, it says, she says it says page unavailable, but she's, yeah, you're on here. Try to, let me see if I can add you.
Mine see a page unavailable too.
Here we go. Yep, she can come on right with you. So,
All right.
come on. Let's make this a three-way broadcast. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Hey.
Yeah, well, we got.
Hey,
Hello.
So happy to be here.
Yes. Peace, love, and light. It's your girl, Annie.
Yeah.
And with my co-host.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
And this is For the Love of Music talk show on Starfire Radio. And our lovely guest. Special guest because she's absolutely a wonderful lady. I've had the privilege of meeting her at the Pittsburgh Music Convention. This was last November.
Right.
So yes, she's a neo-jazz composer, a producer, and audio engineer. Miss Joanne Louise. Welcome!
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We're glad to finally have you on.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to have
It's
you.
been a long time coming. Yeah, thanks.
All right, so we have some questions here for you. And also those in the comments, feel free to ask your questions as well. All right. So I must ask, what is the most important quality to have as a composer?
Well, that was one of the questions I asked myself a lot. It's patience and discipline. You really are working for yourself, and there's nobody there but yourself to report to. So I don't have a manager that's holding me accountable. I don't have somebody breathing down my neck saying you have to compose. So what you have to do is punch yourself in and punch yourself out every day, and treat it like it's a workplace. You really have to have that professional mindset all the time, because it's too easy to slack off, during the day and say, oh, well, this is my own business. I can take a break whenever I want to. I can fall asleep. I can sleep in a few extra hours. No, you have to have that discipline and that motivation to get up every day, put your 8 hours in, and really that's the only way that you're going to make it. If you start to slack off and you start to start thinking that you can let it go, then your talent suffers, your practice suffers. You're not practicing getting on the piano, even if it's just getting on the piano and tinkering around a little bit, or playing around with some melodies. Sometimes I'll just do nothing but experiment and shop for sounds that I can put in music. I do a lot of sample library shopping. And that's my day, so you have to put the 8 hours in, and that takes discipline,
All right. Patience. All right.
So, how did you get into making music?
So when I was younger, my mom forced us to take piano lessons. I was about, I would say, 6 years old or so, and my mom paid for piano lessons. I never practiced. Of course, I never practiced. I would go in the back room, though, and I loved the piano, but I would go in the back room and compose my own stuff. And I would never be ready for my lesson. But little did they know that as I grew up, I got more and more involved in musical clubs. I sang in the folk group in church. I went to rehearsal on a regular basis. I sang in the choir. And then later on in high school, I got into the Creative and Performing Arts High School. That's really when I was bitten by the bug. And that's really a test, because they teach you music theory, and it's not always interesting. You're sitting there daydreaming while the teacher's talking, and they're talking about scales and boring things that break the music down into smaller parts. And then I graduated there, and I decided I wanted to go to Philadelphia University of the Arts. I was accepted there for 1 year, and I only went for one semester. It was just very, very tough, very grueling. And I realized there were more talented people than me, and they weren't going to make it. So it was an issue of paying rent, and I found myself struggling and how do I make a living doing this? And so I left music for a while, and then I went into banking. I was working in financial services for a long time, 24 years, and then another 6 years for a call center. And then, lo and behold, the pandemic comes around, and I had lost my job, and I both had the time and the money to, just kind of choose what career I wanted to go into, and I decided to go back into music, and this is what came out of it. The Hello World album and Hello World Studios were born during that period. And I'm like a lot of other people probably joined that mass movement of what do you call the mass exodus? People were quitting their jobs left and right, just making that career decision and making that choice. And here I am 3 years later, and I have worked with people like Elton John, Pink. I'm a stagehand. I now have a certificate in live sound. I have the EP under my belt, and I think about 10 songs. I'm not sure, I lost count at some point. My latest release is the Beat Project, and that is that was a challenge to write because I wrote my own bass line and all of that stuff. Previous to that, I was writing with sample libraries and things like that. And that was the first one that I did almost all of the arrangement myself. I've come a long way in that period, and I'm looking forward to continuing.
Ooh, all right. So
And
who
you
are
perform
your
jazz.
I'm sorry?
That's that you perform jazz, correct? Well,
Yeah, I would call it. Yeah, I perform composed jazz or neo jazz. I would say it's kind of a chill hop sort of sound. And the first album, I decided to fuse hybrid world music and jazz together, and the end result was something a little bit unusual. So one of the pieces, the theme of the album was that you're kind of on a musical passport. So you're in Chinatown with Dragon Dance, and then you're in the Middle East, in India with Carnatic Dream, and then you're in the cafe on the square. That could be anywhere. It could be France. It could be the United States. And then the other song on there, what's the other one? I can't even remember the other song on there. Oh, Sunday Sauce. Sunday Sauce was my first initial release off of that album, and it went to number 6 on the Reverb Nation Pittsburgh Jazz charts. So that song is more of a gospel-inspired kind of mix. So I would say that's more American,
Okay.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So, who are some of the? Wait a minute. Who are some of your influences as far as musically?
Oh, definitely Quincy Jones is at the top of that list.
Woo!
Q inspired me to do a lot of the producing. His sound, Michael Jackson, his jazz, fusing jazz and pop together was one of my greatest inspirations. Other people include Pat Metheny. I love Pat Metheny. I would say the Rippingtons. A lot of jazz greats. The Manhattan Transfer a little bit. Yeah, it's I don't know if that comes through on the music, but definitely those are my influences.
Okay. Pittsburgh Jazz influence. You went to Kappa.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who were some of your people over there?
Oh, I graduated the year after Billy Porter. I don't know if you know who Billy Porter is. Big Broadway star right now. He graduated the year after me. And he was in one of my classes. But he took theater and I took music. And there were a lot of influences. I learned to play jazz drums from Roger Humphreys. He was my drum teacher. His son was also there at the same time, and they're both very fantastic drummers. I mean, even though I don't play very well myself, but I learned rhythm from them. And there's a lot you can learn just by listening to drums.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure everybody's still there. I said connection glitchy.
Oh yeah, I mean Pittsburgh, but people don't know that Pittsburgh has a very deep jazz roots. I mean we had in the Hill District we had the best jazz clubs. And now people don't spend as much time with jazz as they should. It's a shame because it's such an eclectic genre that can cross over to so many different genres, R&B, soul, pop. You can easily fuse those genres together and make a crossover. So it's partially the Pittsburgh roots that got me there, and I had the chance to take classical. I was classically trained, and I chose jazz. So that's my choice.
Some of the clubs back in the day.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Hurricane. Mango.
Yeah.
Prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hill District, and it's one of the biggest jazz hubs in the country, or actually in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, I grew up. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of jazz influence. George Benson came out of Pittsburgh. Just a lot of people that I had lead the way. In that, developing that talent.
Definitely never. Tell us more about your singing experience as far as you worked with Elton John.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I went through a program called Tech 25, which taught me live sound. And one of the first things they did was tell me to get on the IATSE overhire list. So IATSE is the Stagehands Union. So I signed up for that. And since I've started there, I've gotten the opportunity. My first concert was Elton John. Just being a pusher, pushing those boxes around. Yes, you just push boxes around. I wasn't singing for him. I wasn't doing. That's kind of a catch. Pink, the same thing. And I've also worked for WWE. I did a little bit of audio there. But that's, of course, music has been tough, so the royalties just don't come in. When you only get a few plays, your royalties just are sad. Spotify has us, really over the barrel. As far as that is concerned. They pay 10,000ths of a cent, 43/10,000ths of a cent per play. So even if I get, 1 million streams, it's only, a minimal amount. So you have to have a day job. And so my day job is the stagehand work. And so the last concert kind of killed me. I worked the Pink show, and that was like till 5:30 in the morning. Just a lot of work that goes into those shows. To see the behind the scenes is amazing. Just all of the logistics. Pink had 36 trucks. Just amazing stuff. You never know how much these concerts, then when they come to town, how much they stimulate the economy, and how many people they employ, thousands of stagehands.
Right. Now that's a question. I had not planned on asking you, but you've been talking about last year. As far as being especially here in the Pittsburgh area, and compensation for artists are not what it's supposed to be. Would you agree with that?
I would say so. Yes. I think a lot of people want to go to LA. I resisted that temptation because the pay scales aren't the same. The opportunities aren't aren't as many here, of course, you know, but you can still find them if you look for them. Obviously, you're not going to get the millions that people in LA do, but what I think that we need to do is center Pittsburgh back as a performing arts town, and once we do that, I think through the help of Music of Pittsburgh and everything like that, we're going to try to make people, artists, aware that they can find those opportunities here instead of flying all the way to LA. I've written music for film. Recently, I wrote two scores for the Pittsburgh 48-Hour Film Challenge. So there are lots of movie filming opportunities. I was an extra on American Rust. So all this stuff I'm doing in the middle, it's all here in Pittsburgh. It's not in LA. You know, it's you know, and granted, you know, the pay may not be where it should be, but it's coming that way.
Yes, like my cousin was a jazz. He actually left Pittsburgh. Made more money over in Europe, like that there.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are much more, you know, adept than me. I have massive imposter syndrome, so I'm still young in my career. So of course, you know, I'm not going to make as much money as somebody that's, you know, way up there. You know, so somebody more practiced, obviously, someone more senior than me is going to, you know what to do and be able to produce faster. So, you know, I appreciate people giving me the chance, you know.
That's amazing. Peace, love, and light to everybody in the comments.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Eric.
Hello, Eric. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Eric. Hi, Stephanie.
Welcome. Yeah, this is For the Love of Music talk show. And we have our guest, composer, professional composer and producer, and audio engineer. So don't be shy to ask them questions.
Yeah, ask me some
questions. How do you believe that social media has impacted the music business?
Well, it's the way to go. It's so versatile. It's allowed us to be able to do things like this. The problem is that there isn't an economy yet established for it, a way to get paid, a way to monetize that is viable and makes a living. YouTube only pays, again, fractions of a cent per stream, you know, so it's just not conducive to making a living right now. There are YouTubers that make millions, but you have to, build your audience up, and you have to build yourself up, and that takes a long time. But I really think the future is in the internet and is in computing. And it has done a lot of good stuff for music, but a lot of bad things too. You know, some people say AI is the death of music. I think it's going to help us. I mean, I think, you know, that if you use AI correctly, it's just going to be a tool that composers can use to come up with inspiration when they don't have inspiration. So I've used AI from time to time just because you get writer's block, you know, and it's like, okay, I just don't feel like it today. I need a melody, and I need it quick, you know. Play a few random notes, maybe somebody's phone number, you know, an old phone. I don't know if you've ever done that. Take somebody's old phone number and make a melody out of it, you know.
Just about anything.
Just about anything you can take to make a melody, or take, the initials of your name, or just some random letters, and just, throw them around, throw them in a pot, and pull them out blindfolded, and come up with a melody.
I tell you. Well, tell me, what is it about music that makes you feel so passionate?
What is it about? It has the potential to reach so many people, and impact so many people. When I was growing up, music was my life. I always had headphones in my ears. I always had a radio with me. It played the soundtrack to my life and enhanced my life so much. And I want to be that person that enhances someone's life. If you can make somebody's day just a little bit brighter, maybe that guy that's thinking about, how down he is and feeling depressed, turns on the radio and hears your song, and that makes his day, If that's what happens to you, then I know I've done my job.
All right.
So what social justice issues are you passionate about?
Passionate about? Social justice. I'm very passionate about the climate change, the planet, sustainability. I think we waste way too much on this planet. We throw away too much. We manufacture too much, and then we throw it away when we're not using it. We use too many pesticides. It's just one of those things, where people need to put the planet first, and think about those things when they're creating end to end every product. From the packaging to the logistics, all of that has a carbon footprint, and we need to think about those things. I'm also running for council, by the way. I'm on the ballot.
Running for what?
Yeah, I'm on the ballot in November for Bellevue Council. So.
For Bellevue, okay. All right. Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Right.
That's great. So, I have a hard time reading already.
No, that's okay.
Yes. So, tell us about some any upcoming projects that you're working on.
Right now, I'm working on composing for symphony. I'm going to try to tackle that issue. I just got some symphonic software, BBC orchestra, and I've been working within that. Trying to get in some music libraries for music placements in television and radio. I've had some placements. I've had some airplay on WRCT and WICB in New York and that. But getting some placements on television shows is a good ticket. Licensing your music would provide a living. I would be able to make a living doing music. And a lot of that is orchestral. So I'm trying to practice within that, and hopefully I'll come out with something soon.
Great. Now tell me, any venue in the world, what one that you would like to play at most?
What venues would I like to play at most?
Yes.
Oh, locally, I would like to perform at maybe the Bridge Bar. I don't know of any. I like the Fairmont now they have jazz on Thursday nights. So I would have to get a band together, but I compose mostly on computer, so so now I have to actually get a band together that plays, and I would love to do the Fairmont and do Con Alma, maybe do some of those jazz venues.
I like Con Alma. I wouldn't recommend the brand.
You wouldn't recommend that? What did you say?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't recommend the Fairmont?
No, the Fairmont, yes. The Bridge, no.
The Bridge, no.
Con Alma,
No.
yes.
Okay.
Con Alma, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good jazz venue.
Yeah, yes. In fact, we were the other night. I don't like the way they do the artists.
Yeah.
Yes, and I've been involved with two projects at the Bridge that they just weren't treated right.
Right.
As far as the pay scale, no. I would not recommend it.
Okay, I'll take your advice. Thanks for the information.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm going to inform every artist that I know. Any venues or any bad venues, trust me.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to know, what people don't see is how artists struggle with club owners and people. We're bringing your audience in, and people are buying. We have to get paid too. We can't just do it for free. So if we're going to be bringing your audience in and they're going to be buying, hey, no pay, no play. That's what I say.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Hi, Carol.
Oh, hi, Carol.
Hello, Miss Black.
Yes. What's up, Malcolm?
Brother from Jersey. Yeah, what's happening?
Feel free to ask any questions.
Yes, definitely. You'll get this chance a lot to speak to a professional composer and producer.
Oh, yeah. Now, do you have in your future?
I'm sorry, you cut out there. I'm sorry, you cut out there. Can you ask it again?
Yes. Do you have any aspirations of going in the state?
In the future, like I said, I'm hoping to write for music and television. Video games is one of my interests as well. I'd like to start composing for video games, and that's why I'm starting to write more orchestral stuff, because a lot of the video game music, entrance music, is orchestral now, and it's big. Atmos is big, surround sound, virtual reality. Now they have the headsets, that you're all immersed. Well, I now have a contract with Facebook that allows me to play my music in immersive sound. And I also soon will have a presence on the Oculus. There's a lot of exciting things coming this way, and I see myself more and more immersed in the computer world, and video games and things like that.
Great.
That's great. Louise. So, do you have any advice for upcoming producers? What would your biggest
for young producers to get started, you need a few bucks. What happened with me, was during the pandemic. Of course, I had the unemployment coming in, but not only that, but I got a settlement from a previous employer. So I had a bulk sum of cash there, and that's when I invested. Once you invest in the equipment, the question is, you got to discipline yourself to sit down and complete an entire song or a bunch of songs. And if you have the skill and the talent, and you have the patience, you can get it done. You just need, like, you have to have the capital, though. I mean, obviously, you have to have the financial capital. And like, take advantage of, take an investment, or some people take out a loan. Some people use a credit card. But I invested in FL Studio, the full license, and I have some other sample libraries that I deal with that I have a full license for. The one song that I wrote, I used the Library of Congress's Citizen DJ project, and it's all public domain samples, that you can use from old recordings. I can show you, the website. I'll post it down in the comments, the Citizen DJ project. You have to still check some of the licenses on them if you want to sample them to see that, make sure that they're public domain. But in that song Sunday Sauce, there's a snippet of a sample from a song called Church in the Wildwood, which I used from Citizen DJ. So I would say take the resources, whatever free resources you have. If you can't invest in an expensive setup, then go to your local library. They have musical instruments. They have producing tools. Learn as much as you can about how to produce music and what's modern and what's not. You can use GarageBand, I think, at the library too. So even if you don't have the resources, just get started. Just get started taking music lessons. If you have no experience, do it by ear. Some people do it by ear. And
how I learned.
A lot of the stuff I do on FL Studio is by ear. It's like, okay, is this the right pitch? I got the ear training, and it really doesn't take any talent.
Because I know how to read music, but I just
Library of Congress link in the
Yeah, I'll put the Library of Congress link in the description, and I'll put the Citizen DJ link there, so
Thank
people
you.
can go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. Peace and love, Sean. What's up, brother? That's a dear friend of mine who's also in the music business. So yeah, tell us more about that Sunday Sauce.
So I originally got the idea for the song just to mix different ingredients together, a little bit of gospel, a little bit of sort of I call it Sunday Sauce because it mixes a little bit of gospel, a little bit of hip hop. There's a little beatbox guy in there that does his little, does his little, verbal thing. So it kind of mixes it all together in a Sunday sauce. So at the beginning, you're going to hear, if you listen throughout, you'll hear snippets of Church in the Wildwood, and then at the end, there's a preacher. He's preaching about, how God gives you can take a pill to what does it say? You can take a pill. They've got a pill to alleviate pain, but they don't have a pill to get rid of pain. So it's you can alleviate it, but you can't leave it. you know. So it's all about, you know, the divine. There's a little bit of that in that music. And many of my roots are from the church. So I was a cantor for a long time. I was a principal cantor at Annunciation. So there's a lot of godly influence in there. So, and that's how I got the inspiration for Sunday Sauce.
Oh, that's amazing. Sugar, how you doing, Sugar?
Hello, Sugar. Welcome aboard.
Yes. Peace, love, and light to everybody in the comments. Yes. So, how was it? Do you have any more questions for Mr. Blakey?
I don't know. Are you a jazz artist yourself?
Who, me? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a jazz lover. I had a cousin who was, as I said, was a jazz drummer. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers.
Oh.
Wellington, jazz singer. That song called Wellington Blues. And I came up through jazz and gospel throughout the city of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed by that Art Blakey. I like him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got to collab sometime.
Around the world doing all kinds of music.
Wow, what instruments do you play?
I play my mouth, and I'm learning. I got two keyboards here that I'm working on. I do use a lot of music.
Awesome. We got to get together. We got to jam.
Yes. I'm just learning the keyboards. I go to AAMI, Afro-American Music Institute. Great folks over there. Also, great background in jazz.
Yeah. I'd like to get together with him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's been around 40 years.
There's always something to learn about culture and music, and that was part of my influence for Hello World, was to kind of break out of the pop, you know, Western influenced genre, you know, sound, and expose people to other cultures and other, you know, other types of sound, you know. So.
Yeah, I understand. Our band, we play all kinds of genres. Jazz, blues, country, reggae. We play it.
Awesome.
And then, you know, have our brother band, Wisdom. That's reggae, you know, that's just that I'm a part of, and support us. And yeah, so we do like reggae roots, Afrobeat, the dance song. They would do country, Sweet Home Alabama.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it when musicians are versatile.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. You find those people once in a blue moon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, give me a good
sound. Yeah, very gifted. Yes. So how can people check out your music, and also, you know,
I will post the link in the comments. It's www. No, it's http www.youtube.com/@Hello World Studios 412. I'll put that link in the comments so you can listen to all the music and and subscribe. Please subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely show this wonderful lady some love, because yeah, she is doing it. That's beautiful.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for making Pittsburgh history.
And my name is Knowledge Embracing Fisher, and he made the Neil Song trip with our special guest. Introduce her.
Joanne.
We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.
Joining us. We're going to replay this on Tuesday at 5 on Starfire Radio. All right.
Also, if you'd like to be on the show, reach out to Arnold Benjamin Blakey Fisher or myself, 412-927-6666.
Yeah, give me a call. I'm around.
All right.
Because I feel
Peace, love, and light. You got to stay all right.